Hi, welcome to my workshop on global food service trends. Well, this presentation will be in English, as you noticed, but don't be shy. Stay with me, and we start in a second. So, yeah, it's working. All right, guys, it seems to me it will be a very intimate masterclass, but, well, let's start with what we have. I'm Julia Chesnokova, here, talking to you with love, because we will talk about hospitality, we will talk about restaurant business, and we will work on the trends during this half an hour. So a bit about me. Our own food and success agency. We do corporate trend watching for over 15 years now. And yes, we do all kinds of researches and industry reports from coffee shops to gastronomy strategy of Arctics, which is one of my favorite. And yeah, lectures and workshops, that's what we do. We focus on trends. And we focus on practical trend watching. That's what we are going to talk to you about. So we do trend tours, we are educators, we do chefs trainings, actually in the kitchens of the best restaurants in the world. I'm very proud of it. And yeah, business forums, it was in Ukraine. I'm Ukrainian, so before the war we did a lot of things there. And after the war, of course, we will come back with huge events to raise the industry. So, for your use, there is a Telegram channel. You can use it and you can scan it. It's just a blog. The presentation of mine from today, all the worksheets will be there. So probably you use Telegram in your everyday life and use, but it's a perfect tool to share our knowledge, to share trends, innovations, benchmarks, so you can just go there and, well, check yourself. Every day we post a new content to inspire you, to inspire the restaurant industry. So while we're here today, we will learn how to turn the information from all these 3 days into profit, how to turn trends into profit, how to be aware of what's going on in the world, and how to work with it, how to apply in the restaurant business, and how to scale. So I will share with you my viewpoint on the world. My world is flat. My world is, like, I'm not promoting here a medieval practice, but if you see the world really flat, you would see it as a picture, you can see the trends appearing in one part of the world, and then they also reappear in another part. So the world is pretty small. And when you see the global power city index, Madrid actually has number 10, the most powerful cities in the world. So you see where trends appear. So the success of trend appearance and the business is just when the diversity, the power of immigrants, the people fighting to be, for the place under the sun, together with financial opportunities, they create this, massive impacts on the economy, so the trends appear. So if you'd like to see, for example, cocktail bars, you see them appearing in Mexico now, in Singapore and Bangkok. If you want to see, for example, global cuisines, beautiful concepts in New York, beautiful concepts in London. In Madrid right now, I see huge changes. So if you see the world horizontally, for you, it's really important to scan it, like that. It's very simple. And, well, just a bit of a theory for you to understand where everything comes from. It's just for you to visualize. Maybe it would be useful for you, but also you just imagine we are talking about sustainability, we are talking about health conscience, we are talking about global gastronomy, but where it comes from? It comes from the top. It's a gigatrends, climate change, it's like generational, like us and the coming generation and the past generation. This is where we live now. It's like really long-term forces. Megatrends, a bit shorter, but it's like 15, 25 years. What do we notice? We notice people moving from rural area into the cities. We are talking about sustainability, ecology, and so on. What is interesting for us as trend watchers, you and me, is like large economic forces of microeconomy, microtrends, 5 to 15 years, that's what we live in the moment. It's like all the challenges in the labor market, inflation, different like huge resource changes. So it's a macro trends. And micro trends, this is where we live like in the industry. So micro trends, they are forcing the industry to grow. For example, the change of business models. Imagine before COVID, we didn't know about like huge delivery and virtual restaurant business. Now we live with that. It's new business model. We live with hybrids. We live with new menu innovations, everything. So this is micro level of our like knowledge. You should be aware of that. It's like 3 to 8 years, 3 to 10 years. It's like short impact. And my favorites and your favorites, for example, from social media, these are nanotrends, short-term, viral, non-viral, like limited time offers that you must see on the social media. But we will check on them a bit later. I'm going to leave it to you to study at home, just to look it through what's going on there on the macroeconomic level, because your business depends on that. And if you want to structure your thoughts, you will have all this in my presentation and Telegram channel. You can upload the files. You can use Notion for that. For all the worksheets that I will give you, you can use Notion, you can use Google Sheets, whatever you want. But this will help you to structure your knowledge. Hope you can read it. Yeah. So if you are thinking about the big trend of technology, right, it's automation, for example, and robotization in restaurants, so you might think, does it fit my concept? If I own a wine bar, for example, automation is better for a quick service restaurants. If I own a wine bar with a kitchen, does it suit me? So we may, for example, come to a conclusion. If my restaurant, my wine bar is packed with people, like quick service, like fast food, so probably we should think of putting automatic machine, like, wine dispensers, when people can buy with their cards or with their phones and then enjoy their drinks. So you don't need to get extra stuff to your restaurant. So it makes sense to reduce cost and to earn more. But each of the trends you can evaluate, scanning with this worksheet. So it's important to say, just a little bit of a theory, that trends, we consider trends through the generational point of view. With this angle, it's important to understand which generation is attending your restaurant. So if we are talking about Gen Zs and millennials, right? Gen Zs, it's about like 13 to 28 years old right now, right? And millennials, about 40s, right? So in this case, we understand that these generations, they value experiences more than material possessions. They spend more and they, save less. They are for experiences rather than something classic. So they focus on sustainability. They drink less. That's why, well, we may say that certain industries like bars, like clubs, nightclubs, might suffer from this trend, because this generation, they want competitive socializing, but they don't want to drink. They don't want to go clubbing. They want something, health conscious. And if you're working in your restaurant, in your place with Gen Z, Gen X, or baby boomers, like middle 40s, middle 30s, or middle 50s, middle 60s, then you should think of a classic approach. So they don't look at marketing, at sales and some marketing instruments that you are using. Nothing viral. They don't like it at all. But they are looking into something, health conscious, and for longevity, it's like hotels with longevity options, with health conscious options, and so on. So just think of the generation while thinking about trends. So just a quick, remember last year it was flash, nano, small trends, viral trends, like with croissants. These round croissants, or it's a part of the trend, viral trend. We got so tired of it, but it was just, a week and it disappeared. And everybody was talking about that, and then nobody is talking about that right now. So I would like for you to work on this worksheet at home to evaluate, to differentiate what is a trend and what is a hype, because it's like a slight difference. So the trend is something meaningful. It's something like plant-based proteins we are talking about, and health options. It's a part of a bigger trend: sustainability, health conscious, how to extend our lives. Hype, it's something, like limited time options for a certain period of time, and it disappears, like these croissants. Or there's an example of mine, it's like pink pasta sauce was so popular on TikTok, where it is now. But it doesn't mean that you can't use it. You can use it in your business for limited time offers. But for you, it's interesting to pass through this, table and to understand whether it's trend or a hype in your business. You can play another game. Another game is called trend versus anti-trend. For example, for Gen Z, it would be a really trendy plant-based restaurant. For Gen X and for baby boomers, it would be a classic meat-centric restaurant like Lenia of Dani Garcia in here on the picture. Or, for example, alcohol-free bar. Alcohol-free beer bars is even, by Brewdog, beautiful things, beautiful concept, but anti-trend is a strong, classic strong cocktail bar like Dry Martini in Barcelona. So the interesting game to play, another worksheet for you, is how define, what kind of trend or anti-trend you can use in your restaurant concept or menu. For example, the most important question here to finalize all this table is like, is it possible for trend and anti-trend to coexist in one place? For example, if we can provide a plant-based menu cooked beautifully on Jasper in a mid-centric restaurant, of course you can. They can coexist. Or can you create beautiful mocktails or alcohol-free drinks in a classic cocktail bar? Of course you can. So it's for you to understand how it works, and it's just the process of your thinking with the help of my worksheets. So, another trend, very interesting now to work on that, to brainstorm on that. There's a great shift in restaurant business between categories, which stand really close to each other, like blurring the edges between categories. So, fast foods, they increase the quality of foods, of ingredients, so they cross the border and they step into the world of fast casuals. Fast casuals, like Honest Greens, they step into the world of casuals. So with beautiful, atmosphere, with a menu that you can, go to the Honest Greens, Sweet Green in New York, in the States. So you can go there like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So there's a threat to casual restaurants. The same from casuals to premium. And, a huge thing is retail is coming to the restaurant business. Retail, grocerants, fashion retail, like Zara shops, Zara cafes, they are coming into the world of cafes, and that's a threat. So now we analyze these kind of trends. Are they threats for your business, or these are opportunities? So are groceries around you with grab-and-go options, are they threats? Or it's opportunity for you to differentiate, to have a beautiful atmosphere, to have a great service, great design, great food, and you don't need to fight, you never compete with retailers on their shelf prices, so think it over. So there's innovation, which is very simple for you. Now we are going on into the practical thing. So everything is coming up to collecting the things that you've learned here at HIP and for another coming 2 days. Develop and test, analyze, let's say, and apply. How do we do that? So it's really simple. It's written complicated, but it seems complicated, but it's not. So we start with a person. Who is this visionary who is moving the company to develop, who is moving the company to, to innovate, to introduce trends to the company? It's a visionary, it's an owner, it's a restaurant manager. This manager is creating a system of gathering and sharing, so it's a library. Then you refine, you select ideas with which to go, and you try these ideas, and then you pilot. As we do in the IT business, we do, a prototype, we test it in one location, we analyze, we apply it, or drop it. And then if we integrate successful initiatives, we repeat from the very beginning. Who is the strength champion? Who is the superhero? So the person who drives changes in the company. If you do not push your colleagues, if you don't push your team, nothing happens. It's a person who scans the environment, who is here, actually. So this is the driver of change. You are the drivers of change in your company. So who could be with you? An owner, managing director, any individual interested. So it might be a waiter, willing to, to search, to scroll internet for something interesting and innovative. So this person reads, travels a lot, tunes media. If you start looking for wine bars, if you have a wine bar, on social media, so when you tune it, like you will have your, the whole feed devoted to wine bars. So sooner or later in a month, you won't see any cats, dogs, kids. You will see wine bars. I'm pretty sure it's working like that. So you create a library, and this person is responsible for this library. The most important thing, I think, is this person is telling the whole team why. Why do we do this? What for? And that's the most important thing. To be honest, not the whole team wants to participate in such an adventure. So it has to be the one who pushes. So how do you scan? You go to trend safaris, you go to trend tours in your company, online and offline, locally and internationally. Online platforms and reports, I will share some names with you with the next slide, so you can tune your social media, as I told you. Industry events like this, but just not only local. Please go to international ones, listen to your guests, and follow the companies and the leaders of the companies, because they can teach you a lot where they go strategically. So it's very simple idea for your staff, for yourself, how to do trend safari and social media, and how to make use of it. If you find some, great case, analyze it like that, go through the table. And yeah, this is how we do like wine bars. This is a case study. You can see Vagabond in London with this wine dispensers I told you. So you can have a look at this slide when you upload it. So scan sources. That's really useful thing to do. You can take a picture of that. So if you're working on the menu, you can try to see the trends from food perspective. Follow the best chefs, follow different, feeds. This is for you as an advice, go there. If you're looking at trends from your business perspective, go to NRA show in Chicago, read, reports from Technomic and all kind of things. If you need creativity in your projects, so Restaurant and Bar Design Awards, Supper Magazine, they do brilliant free issues of magazines, and you can read it like weekly, monthly. Just use it. This is a huge amount of, information on that. And visit industry events like HIP. There's European Foodservice Summit coming, there's Global Restaurant Investment Forum coming, Restaurant Leadership Conference coming to Barcelona actually in November this year. So please talk to others. And then, this is an important thing, how to categorize your sources. Like 3 days of HIP, lots of information. How do you structure this information? You can structure by segment of your interest. Not all of them. It's like, it's mine. This is what I do. It's like, I structure by segment, by food type, by your need or your interest. So it might be like Instagram profile, or plating ideas, or branding, or business models. So you structure your information into categories, and you can use all kind of these, applications and tools, online tools. We're using Notion for our corporate clients, and we are using Telegram because it's the easiest tool to create a library for you. I will explain a bit later. So how do we categorize and how we do this reporting? You can use it, at home. So we categorize fast foods and the cases, then fast casual trends and the cases, cafes, bakeries. This is the most dynamic and interesting category, segment in restaurant business. I would watch into that more closely if I were you. Then immersive restaurants, the case studies, then hybrids, solo dining trend. We can look, into trends from different parts. We can, categorize in terms of the menu, in terms of the positioning. And sorry, that's an important thing as well. If you're growing from one location to multiple units, and so you want to know what are the business models of other restaurant companies? Where are they moving to? If they're moving into hotel business, or what kind of concept they, open for themselves, there's a simple X-Mind, mind mapping tool to understand what are the structures, what are the ecosystems of the companies. For example, here we have Universa by David Munoz, or we analyzed Jose Andres Group. Where do they, which categories do they develop? Where are they going? What are the trends and business models? And this is a perfect tool to do so. So this is the ecosystems you will have. This is an idea of ecosystems. It's like when you have one key product, for example, a superpower of yours, one product you're working with, you can grow your business with other businesses around, so it's called an ecosystem. So, the system of gathering so many systems today. So this is the library that you can create. This is a sample from Future Bytes, the Telegram channel that I told you about. So I put everything there. You can create, and we created for our clients, an innovation channel. So we put all the ideas, and the company, the team of this restaurant company, uploads all the ideas from the shows, from the press, from media, to this channel, and everybody can see that. There's a laptop version, there's, you can use it on your phone. And what is great, sorry, it's in Ukrainian, we created, I didn't translate the names. In Telegram, there's a beautiful function that you can do folders, you can do topics. So you can place your information over there, and you can categorize. So it's so useful, free of charge, and a super tool for you to work on the trends and ideas. So how it works with ideation. So you need at least, if it's only like you working in the company, solopreneur, so it's only you. Well, in a perfect world, there might be an innovation trio, an owner, a restaurant manager, marketing manager, and the chef. So this is a super team of superheroes moving. What you can do practically, after HIP or other events or some collection of trends, you can do mini sessions with your team of this innovation trio every month. You try to analyze whether these trends, they align with your brand. Does it fit your brand, this trend, or not? Then which roles and which resources do you need? And the plan of action, and then pilot. pilot is one of the most important things when you decide. You pilot, you analyze, and you do strategy meetings quarterly, half a year, and year, because some of the trends you will apply and they will stay at your restaurant forever. So this is like a guidelines, how to create a pilot. A simple one, probably you already know, but this is just, a few steps how to do it. On which step we analyze, what do we analyze, when we collect data, and how we, move on. So what I mean by creating a pilot, there are so many formats you can use. For example, Saucy by KFC, they created a concept based on sauces, like 11 sauces that they have to pair with their chicken, but they created a separate concept to try to analyze, to understand whether, it's workable, it's consumable or not. So you can do a pop-up concept if you have, for example, a pizza ideas, or I don't know, whether to try at your restaurant or not, you can try. Then collaboration, this is a beautiful place. It's a mix of a cafe and a retail place. You can do pop-up menu, for example, I don't know, culinary adventure, or a tasting menu, art and food, something like that. Limited time offers. Here's a pincetta in the cocktail bar, actually, in Hong Kong. So you can try this for your lunchtime or your, I don't know, snack time options, happy hours, and see whether people would love that or not. And, the Big Mama Group, they piloted a brand, virtual delivery brand, yes? It's called Napolitano Group Bank. And then they tried it and it worked. So you can use a virtual, pilot to try new things in your company. And then what do? You check the metrics. That's important. After each pilot, after each idea that you tried, whether it's a menu item or a restaurant concept, so you try results, sales, guest satisfaction. What do they say? What do guests say about that? Marketing reach. So, and what can you do that on the strategic session, quarterly, half a year, and monthly if you'd like? You make a decision whether you scale, you pivot and do something different, or you drop the idea. You don't need it anymore, and it's okay to be honest with ourselves. So the last couple of slides, the team. It's really valuable for your company, for your future, to create this culture of curiosity and experiment. So your people do not afraid to tell their ideas, to share these ideas with you and with other members of the team, so they can also get the ideas from social media and upload on Telegram as well in your innovation channel. So you encourage them to share, you learn them how to do it, and you have worksheets, you have tables to do it at home. And let everyone contribute. It can be a waiter, it can be any chef in the kitchen, but he really wants to do something meaningful to your company. You know what? The most, I think, useful stuff out of all this is to create trend safaris for your company. Online and offline, it's better to do it offline in the team, locally and internationally. You can't imagine what kind of gratitude and amount of new information you will get there. You can take trend safari worksheets like social media safari, but you can use it in your real ones. So from today, you've learned about general picture of trends. You already know how to do trend safari on your phone or offline. You know how to systemize things in Telegram or Notion or any, app that you use in your business. So you have a roadmap: scan, analyze, and apply, and how to create a pilot and how to turn trends into profit. So thank you so much. Never stop looking around. So any questions, please be free. Go to Future Bites. We will meet with you there on a daily basis. maybe except weekends. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. My pleasure.